Welcome to Buckets and Bubbles. Why is it called Buckets and Bubbles?
I meant to have thought of a joke for this week, hadn't I? And I haven't.
Not got one, have you?
No.
No.
I think it's to do with the buckets of champagne that'll have been drunk on the West Ham bus on the way home, and the
And the bubbles from said champagne.
yeah, you know.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, the bubbles of champagne from Isaac's celebratory new 6-year contract at Liverpool. But anyway, who cares about that? I don't care. What a difference a week makes.
Yes. Unreal.
Like, what a difference.
So yeah, it's really nice to have actually got a couple of sign-ins. Like, we got a few in early doors, some questionable ones, which I will, at the moment, reserve judgment on the rest of the season for. But at the moment, I don't think there's a single one on yesterday's performance who I have a real issue with. I think everybody is... Just to go through it, right? So, starting Hermansen, who's had a couple of absolute stinkers, and yesterday looked like a proper keeper. He looked like he had command of his box. We had a couple of, first half, a lot of that were Nottingham, and he kept out some stuff. He seemed like he was in charge of his own area and that, and it was refreshing to kind of go, all right, yeah, if this is the guy we've signed, and the last two games have just been an absolute madness, then fair enough.
Best keeper in the world.
I mean, clean sheet away. You can't do better than that, can you?
Nope.
Walker Peters' first start, I think, for Walker Peters this season. An uninspired transfer, I'll say, when we got him. And I weren't disappointed. He's a good player. He absolutely has stolen that shirt off Wan-Bissaka. So, yeah, there you go. That's what he's come and done. Mavropanos, I'm a big fan of Mavropanos. He's one of those who has got his moments. He's not the complete defender. He will make an error every game at least once. But he was really good on Saturday. And that's the kind of... He is really good, but he has an error in him, which is why I don't think he gets as many starts as he should. But he's really good in the air, really good. Like, you put him up against Naya Fagerd, and there's no comparison in terms of their ability to play as a centre-back in the Premier League. Mavropanos is head and shoulders literally above Naya Fagerd. Naya Fagerd is a technically better player, but he's not a Premier League defender.
All incredibly sensible so far. Incredibly sensible.
Yeah, it's tape. I mean, yesterday was a different matter. I would have been, this is a team who will win the Premier League this season. And 10% of me believes it still. But I'm trying to be a bit more restricted.
Only 10%? Only 10%?
Only 10%. Maybe 25.
Right.
50. Kilman. Kilman was fine. He's all right, he's Kilman. He's not worth 40 million quid by a long stretch, but he's fine. He's all right. He's not... He runs a bit. He takes the ball out into midfield. He's got a tackle on him, which is nice to see. And he can carry the ball a little bit. And had a couple of flourishing moments, a couple of nice passes, a couple of this, and you kind of thought, yeah, decent, like, fine. And then we get to the left-hand side and Magic Diouf, where you go, there's a player. There's a player. He's 20, and he run rings around a lot of those players for a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of bits where you can see he's still learning. He's only young. This is his third game in the Premier League, his fourth game in English football. He put a shift in, and he got his rewards. He's got that assist for that last goal. He's got a pass on him. I love it.
It's amazing how much a week makes a difference of how you view players, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think given the players who have left, rumours are that they are not troublesome, but they maybe don't have the discipline that the squad is quite used to. So there's lots of turning up late to meetings and all that kind of stuff, and it's a little bit disruptive. And
wrong-uns, I think the phrase is.
Yeah,
wrong-uns.
Absolute wrong-uns.
Yeah.
And I just think without that influence and without that cloud, it feels as if... I'm not saying that's 100% the reason why. I think it's a case of Potter, stuck his hand in the magic bag of tactics and pulled out the right one this week,
Was it pot luck?
It was absolutely Potter luck.
Potter look.
Potter
Very
look.
nice.
Yeah, trademark, Mike. Nottingham Forest set up to play 3 at the back against, thinking we would be playing 3 at the back, and we didn't. We turned up and played 4. And I think that surprised him a little bit, and maybe Nuno didn't quite get on top of that towards the second half. I think in the first half, they did reasonably well. It was a very boring, kind of measured game of football. I felt the spectre of Chelsea. All the way through that first half, I was trying to think what's my stinker of the week. And my stinker of the week was going to be this: if it had have finished 0-0 or 1-1 or we'd have lost, my stinker of the week would have been the spectre of that defeat of Chelsea. But, as the last 10 minutes showed, I don't think that's the case. Midfield, Ward-Prowse, who, again, he's not running the hard yards. He's not, but he's there and he's setting an example, I suppose, and Potter must see something in him. God knows what it is, but he did all right.
Speaking of midfield, who were your leaders on that pitch?
West Ham lack leadership massively. So Fulkrug, I think, is one of the ones who, on paper, you look at and go, yeah, he's a leader. But then you look at him in that match in the first half, and there was nothing there. He was running around a little bit in the first half, but
I mean, Bowen, obviously.
Yeah, but Bowen's one of those, and I hate this for a captain. I love Bowen. I think he's great, and I love the fact that he absolutely settled into West Ham massively, and he's a club legend already because he's one hand
trying to have a scrap with the fans.
Yeah, and you know what? There's not a fan I've seen online who have said anything negative about that. They've just gone.
They would do. Yeah, they would do.
They've just gone. Yeah, brilliant. Because West Ham fans love a bastard. And that
all teams love a bastard. We all love a bastard.
Everybody wants. There's been a few now. Like recently, I think the last one who really, really kind of fit that mold was Arnautovic. He just did not give a shit. He'd square up to anybody, his own teammates, whatever.
But you need that. I think that's why I'm asking you about leaders, because I think you need in your team, you need somebody who's a bit of a bastard, as you say, but also who's maybe a bit unhinged. Are you allowed to say that these days?
I think so.
Just a bit odd.
I think so. Like, we need a Paolo Di Canio.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Without the fascism, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, and there isn't that person there. Like, Bowen, as a captain, he's one of those who sets an example, leads by example. Harry Kane, but won't get stuck in. You don't really see him get stuck into it. Like Matt Noble would absolutely just don't care who it is. There's a story of Nobes when he's about 18 or something. No, it isn't. It's when Arnautovic was playing, so he'd have been, late 20s, early 30s. And we had a stinker, an absolute stinker. And he comes in, does Matt Noble, captain at this point, and just picks on the first player he saw to have a go at. Don't matter what they've done in the match. He just thought, I need to have a go at somebody, and it will Marko Arnautovic. And he absolutely laid into him. They had to be separated. Arnautovic went into massage room and had to cool off down there. And there were like 5 or 6 players dragging him off. And he sits down as Mark Noble and he looks across and there's Aaron Creswell sat there laughing his tits off. And he's like, what the fucking hell are you looking at? And he's like, mate, you shit your pants.
You need a bit of that, though, don't you? You need a bit of nastiness. I think, we'll get onto Leeds later, but we lack nastiness. There isn't any of that, really.
And I think West Ham kind of epitomised that move within football. And I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad move, but you're moving away from, Alex Ferguson kicking a football boot and shouting and air driving, all moving away from that. And it's all, psychology and, all that kind of softly, all that kind of stuff. And Graham Potter is the epitome of that. He is the, if there's a poster boy for that approach to football, it is Graham Potter. And I can't argue against any of the science of it. I can't argue against any of the reasoning for the game to move that way. I think as a society, we need to move that way. I think there is, absolute merit in it. But I think there's a time and a place for something a little bit harder.
Yeah, controlled nastiness, not just nastiness for the sake of it.
Yeah. Paquetá showed us who the player who we signed. So that's who we signed. And he is not unhinged, but passionate. And that celebration absolutely showed it. And it's like, the whole phone call and throwing it away to say, because all that date was, he would prefer not to play because there's an offer in from Aston Villa. And we'd heard Naya Fagerd has absolutely refused to travel because he wanted to move. He pushed that move. And that's typical Naya Fagerd. He's done that with us before, so good riddance to him. And there was paper talk about the same thing with Paquetá. And as it turns out, it were agents trying to bully the clubs into making a move and stuff. And there is no doubt, I think Paquetá, if given the opportunity to play for a top half of the table Premier League side on the same or more money who are in Europe, he would make the move. Why wouldn't you? As a professional footballer, you would do that. So I would have no qualm in that man choosing to move away. And I think the manner in which he played the game, travelled with the squad and all that kind of stuff would have made me thought if today he'd have gone, I'd have gone fair play. Like, that was all fun and games, kissing the badge and throwing the phone away. But it's the way that he's widened his eyes in front of the fans, and you could see that. And me and you...
Yeah, but hang on. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Hang on. You can't be going down the I'm loving the kissing the badge nonsense. Every time I say, I mean, come on. It's like
I said, there's a little bit of show business going on. There's a little bit of showmanship, and there's a little bit of this is for the headlines. It was after that, so he's standing in front of the fans, and it's the look in his eye, and it's like, me and you have got a particular skill set that not everybody in this country will have, and that is to do with reading people's actions and reactions and all that kind of stuff. And you could look at him and you could see the truth in what he was doing. You could see that he genuinely felt an emotion.
I hope you're right.
And if not, that guy needs to go into acting when he retires. And he still did his usual, falling over like a deck of cards. But it had some purpose to it. I think there was a little bit more about his reading of the game as to when and where to do it. And it paid off because we got the free kicks for it. He weren't like against Chelsea. He was just falling over. And I think there was an air of desperation. And I think the thing is with Paquetá is played in a team where we are successfully working out our strategy on the pitch and playing the game as and we're in the ascension for the most part of the game. Now, whether that's in defence or attack, I don't think it matters. But if we are the leading defending team, and like we were kind of back to the wall a little bit in the first half and then on the attack in the second, as long as we're the team on top of whatever phase of play we're in, I think he loves it, and I think that's where he thrives.
This is far too sensible. You're talking about phases of play now, Mike.
Yeah. If we lose, I don't watch a single video. I don't watch anybody else's reaction to it. I don't even look at the table. No. When we win, I watch them all, even the really shit ones like this. Bowen, there's a moment in the second half where I think he would have scored the goal of the season, but
Callum Wilson had other ideas,
and his goal bonus got the better.
100%. He had 100 grand in his eyes, did he? Yeah.
Oh, and then like I said, Fulkrug was I think he needs to have a word with himself a little bit. Fulkrug off, Callum Wilson on. Callum Wilson, I will absolutely hold my hand up and say I was wrong. If he plays like
for now,
if he plays like that for the rest of the season, 100% was
fair
the
enough.
right person to bring in. In that half, he played like a number 9, and we haven't had that for so long. Every single person who's played up top for us has been converted into it, whereas he is an absolute out-and-out striker, and you can see the difference, the timing of his runs.
What I will say to you is you're welcome for Somerville.
Somerville comes on with 10 minutes to go, and I thought, all right, it's 0-0, give him a run out, changed the game.
Totally.
Changed the game. The thing that we lack is pace. And Somerville has it in spades, and he is...
Got trickery as well.
Yeah. One as the penalty. His crosses were great. His link-up play with Diouf was fantastic. To say it was 10 minutes they've had. I don't know how much they've done in training, but they had 10 minutes together. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You've still got to have a stinker of the match,
My stinker of the match is the stuttered penalty run-up. The moment the ball left his foot, I have no problem with it. The moment he placed the ball down and was, taking in the atmosphere and all that, no problem with it. The initial step into the run, fine. The final step out of it as he followed through, fine. That stutter, that 3 steps, is my stinker of the match. Can't stand it, hate it.
Where are you finishing in the league?
So, sensibly...
Tell the truth. Where do you think right now you're finishing the league? No, tell the truth. Where do you think you're finishing? Don't be sensible. Just to tell the truth.
Champions League. No.
Do you actually top 6? You think you've got a chance of top 6, don't you?
Playing like that, yeah. We looked like the team we were in COVID when we got.
Just to be clear, you reckon top 6, and how many points have you got?
3.
Okay. Good.
I mean, sensibly, I think.
No, it's not sensibly. You've had your chance. You've had your chance. There's no sense to
stick with it.
Right, go on. I'll give you a quick rundown of Leeds Newcastle. I went in there thinking,
oh, you were there as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I don't care if we get beat. Don't care. I mean, I do care, obviously. Don't care. I just don't want to be humiliated like we were on against Arsenal. It was a bit of a dull game, if I'm honest. There wasn't a lot that happened. I think there were only about 3 shots on target the entire game. But I have to eat my words about Gruev. Gruev was, again, in the holding midfield role, and I just thought, what are you doing? But I think he had the most touches of anybody on the pitch. He ran around. He showed a few people. I still think he's too lightweight. Sean Langstaff, were great shout putting him in. He had something to prove against Newcastle, and he proved it. He kept Guimaraes, whatever his name is. He's another one of them show ponies that I don't like. But he kept him really quiet. He kicked a few people. He slid in on a few people. I liked that.
Yeah. Dirty Leeds.
Dirty Leeds. I'll have Dirty Leeds all day. I don't know whether you've seen Anton Stash. I don't know whether you've seen his Instagram account. It's hilarious. So he does every game day. He does these things before the Sheffield Wednesday game, which we won't talk about. But he did a post of him as Wednesday. So basically, Wednesday with his face on. He is one of those players who the fans already love, but he's just got a little bit of. It's just something not quite right, and he's all teams love a player like that. It's great. And then he did something like a picture of him like with some maracas. And anyway, so I'm going to give a really brief overview. The goalkeeper's kicking is still a bit dodgy. He caught quite a lot of crosses, which was good. The defence did quite well. It was basically the championship defence with Goodmanson. I thought they did well. We're light up front. The 2 wingers, so we had James and Nonto. James did absolutely. The thing was that Newcastle are one of the best pressing. So I've been told. I don't know about this stuff. Mike, I don't know about this stuff.
You're the one who quoted XG other week.
That is true. But it's because I've heard it from someone else. But somebody told me that they're one of the best pressing teams in the Premier League. And so they pressed, so we were knocking a lot of long balls. But the problem is you've got Dan James and Nonto, the 2 arguably the smallest players on the planet, let alone in the Premier League. And they were never going to stick. But we had Nemecha up front. So Pirro was dropped. Nemecha came in up front and he just made a bit of a nuisance of himself. He didn't do anything particularly wonderful, but he got himself about. He was pulling players. He was holding the ball up a little bit more. We just looked a bit better. If he'd have been fitter against Arsenal, I think he'd have started and it might have we'd still have lost, but it might not have been quite as bad. Substitutes. So substitutes on about 55 minutes, I think. It was something like that. It was quite early for Farke. He brought on Harrison and he brought on Aronson. To say that Aronson's a professional footballer is doing him some service. He runs around a lot. He's got a lot of energy. He does a lot of stuff. But he's not Premier League. And Harrison, as soon as he came on, booze. Now, I'm not going to do it. I'll do my stinker of the week in a bit. But what I will say is fair play to the Leeds fans because they booed him when he came on because of all the stuff that's been going on last couple of years, wanting to go away on loan and stuff. Booed him when he came on, but that was it. After that, it was done. And he played really well, actually. And then Calvert-Lewin came on and looked sharp. He had a couple of sort of half chances and then one really good chance towards the end, which was a good save. Oh no, draw was probably about right. 4 points from the first 3 games. Happy with that. If you'd have said to me, you're going to play Everton, you're going to play Arsenal and Newcastle, and you're going to have 4 points, I'd have gone, yes, please. That'll do me. We can talk about that later. My stinker of the match. What's my stinker of the match? I don't know. I'm struggling, to be honest. Because I wanted to mention the Newcastle fans because they started singing about Isaac and we joined in. That he was well, you can imagine. So that was quite nice. There was a bit of banter between the fans. Stinker of the match. Probably the coffee. The coffee was horrible. I've got nothing else to say.
I was going to say, has Ellen Road started doing popcorn?
No.
Yeah.
The pies are all, I don't know. Stinker of the match is probably just the Premier League, especially that theme that you have to play. play at the beginning.
Oh.
We just boo it all the way through. So that's probably my stinker of the match. Premier League, they can bollocks.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
So your minute, I want you to spend a minute telling us exactly why Potter should be sacked immediately.
Potter should be sacked immediately because he has proved in the last 20 games, so this is a stat I've seen recently, in the last 20 games, that he is no better than Julian Lopetegui over the same distance. Julian Lopetegui was sacked after 20 games, and if you were to take the first 3 of this season and the last 17, whatever, when he was in charge, when he took over from Julian, he is on fewer points. And the standard of football over that period, 10 minutes against Forrest aside, is about the same. So he has come in and not improved West Ham as a squad, not improved West Ham as a team, and basically we are exactly where we were last summer after appointing Julian Lopetegui. We are, as at this point of the season, there is no difference at all. I've gone over a minute. There you go.
That was all pretty sensible. I was going to ask you to add in who should replace him, but you've already said Nuno. So
I mean, that was I don't know. I mean, there's the if we can get through to the end of the season, and I think the squad we've actually put together isn't that bad. I think there's some really good players in there. I'm excited to see the new additions gel. But if we could get to the end of the season and reasonably not embarrass ourselves.
Top 6, you said?
Champions League, come on. It starts now. Champions League starts now. I think we might be able to attract... well, we're not. We're not. We've got David Sullivan in charge. Of course we're not. We're going to get Jose Mourinho.
Listen,
that's who we're going to get.
You never know. He's on a plane. He's on his way to London. You'll be all right. Go on then, give me my minute.
Why Farker is the man to win a trophy for Leeds?
Have I started?
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Farker's definitely the man to win a trophy. I mean, to be fair, Mike, he already has won a trophy for Leeds. So, my job is easy. All he has to do is do that again. All I will say is...
Does that mean you're getting relegated first?
Is that... No, he's already won one. He's already got
but to do it again, you need to get relegated and then promoted again.
Let me finish. You're eating into my minute. What I will say is FA Cup, we're out of the League Cup now. We're going to be fine in the Premier League, comfortably mid-table. FA Cup's ours. I think he's got the tactical nous. He's started to bring players in, sub them earlier. It was always after 70 minutes. And he has clearly got a plan as far as switching around the formations in game. And he's... I'm done. I'm just talking nonsense.
End of that. Yeah, I'll let you have an extra 5 seconds because I interrupted.
Never in a million years will he win another trophy for us, unless it is the Championship again.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So, who have you got next?
I ain't got a clue. Spurs.
Spurs, you have. Is it at home or away?
That's a good question, that.
Spurs got beat anyway. They've lost it already. They're out of there.
Yeah, Spurs at home next.
Yeah, you beat them. They're rubbish. We've got Fulham. Fulham away.
It was really funny. I've just clicked onto the thing to show it, and it just got rid of you. And so you were then the next thing. Yeah.
Excellent. Am I back or am I just...
Back. Yeah.
I'm back.
Should we do that later again?
Ooh. Yeah, no. It's fine. Let's leave that in.
Okay.
So you've got Tottenham at home. You'll be fine. They're rubbish.
Yeah.
We've got Fulham away. But we've got 2 weeks. What are we going to do for 2 weeks?
I think should because it's internationals. Should we do an international version?
Are we doing an England version?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That means I'll have to watch it.
I know. I'm not one for international football, to be
Maybe
fair.
we could do the home. I was going to say the home counties. I meant the home nations.
Yeah. So
we could
just
do a
support
Scotland.
Wales.
Wales. Yeah, just do something else.
Yeah.
There's too many flags around. Too many flags up for my liking.
Yeah. I think every roundabout near me has got a Danish flag on it.
That's interesting. People know the geography, though, don't they?
Very European. I feel quite cultured.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do that. We're going to do a quick transfer window ep, aren't we? But once the transfer window is slammed shut, and then we'll do an England one. We'll do a home nations one. Right. All right. See you then.
Don't forget, like, subscribe. Please watch it. Please, somebody.
If you can be asked.
Please.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.